Howdy, 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 and welcome to the workshop. It is that time, Workshop Wednesday time. All right, we are going to go ahead and close out our video. It is actually National Ice Cream Shake Day, and I think specifically chocolate, which is why we chose chocolate here. So if chocolate milkshakes are your thing, today is absolutely 100% going to be your day. We're going to talk today about getting started. This is a beginner's section. So this is all about those of you who are just starting out with like Tag Manager and analytics. This is for you. So this is our getting started workshops. Now today we're going to talk about automatically tracking your link clicks, which we'll get into more detail in just a moment. First, welcome if this is your first workshop. My name is Chris Mercer. I do go by Mercer, and I am the co-founder here at measurementmarketing.io, where you can find our content on such incredible platforms like Digital Marketer, Conversion Excel, Social Media Examiner, Seriously Simple Marketing, and others around the web. Of course, we're going to talk about the 5 pillars of measurement marketing. We do this each and every workshop to make sure that you are really nailing down your measurement marketing skills. First, you got to work on planning. That's figuring out what questions do you want to ask? What are you going to need to make sure that you're getting those answers? What are you going to do with those answers from a marketing perspective? It's all in the planning. Then you move into building. We're actually using tools like Tag Manager and Google Analytics to set up the actual building and measuring of all those things that you say that you needed to measure. Then the reports. That's where you might use a spreadsheet. You might use built-in reports like in Google Analytics. You might even use something like Google Data Studio to build dashboards. That's the reporting phase. Then you take all those numbers and you begin to forecast what your near future looks like. So you can start to predict what the next weeks or months are going to bring for you. Then once you have your forecast in place, you run traffic and you optimize, because you're going to be measuring what you thought was going to happen against what actually is happening. That's going to give you clues as to what's working and what's not. And that's how the whole measurement marketing cycle pulls together. So those are the 5 pillars of measurement marketing. With all of these workshops, just focus on grabbing one thing, one new idea. Then you come back, watch the replay, grab another idea, especially if you're just starting out, because there's a lot to Tag Manager. There's a lot to Facebook Analytics. There's a lot to Google Analytics. There's a lot to Google Data Studio. And so when you're going through these trainings, just pick up one idea, practice that idea, get it under your belt, then you come back and grab another idea. All right, with that, without further ado, getting started, automatically tracking link clicks. Okay, we are going to jump into first Tag Manager, and I want to talk about kind of what we're going to do here. So I've got a little container that's set up. It just has a very, very basic tag. So it's got our page view tag that's actually set up here. So we have that up and running. Then I've got analytics, and we've got our measurement marketing demo site. Now, really quickly, I want to talk about the actual measurement marketing demo site itself. So what we're going to do is I wanted to, page views. We already know page views are actually working. So I don't really have to worry too much about that. Okay. So in other words, if I come to this page and I go to join our email list, this is now the page that I'm on. If I go into my analytics, we can check our real time, because that's what it's used for, is for testing. Let's just go to content here. And I can see here that I automatically have access to the page views. Okay, so I've got page views working. No harm, no foul. It's all good. What I want to do, though, from a measurement perspective, is from a measurement marketer perspective, maybe I want to be able to track if they click on this link, or 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 basically anything that's a hyperlink. Well, fortunately, using tools like easy for me to say, Google Tag Manager, using tools like Google Tag Manager, I can actually do that. I can actually go through and I can tell Tag Manager, hey, I want you to be aware of every click that's happening on the page, and I want you to go ahead and automatically track it. So that's what we're actually going to do. Now, at that point, once I've got Tag Manager, and that's the very first step with all of this, is having Tag Manager more like aware of what's going on. Then we sort of are training Tag Manager. We're going to say, now that you see this link click, here's what I want you to do with it. And that's based on the platform. So in this case, that's where the platform of Google Analytics comes in. We are going to test our events by using the real-time events window here. And then ultimately, they will all be stored in the behavior and then events section. So behavior and events, and that's where we're actually going to see our events. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So I am first and foremost going to refresh this, because I've just upgraded my permissions so that I can actually edit tags. There we go. All right. So first things first, I am going to first set up a trigger. Okay, I'm going to do that here by clicking on triggers. and we're going to click on New and introduce you to this trigger, which is called Just Links. Now, there are two different click triggers in Tag Manager. One is all elements. The way to think about this is every single time that mouse button gets pressed, this thing fires. So it's an amazing, amazing trigger, but you got to be really careful with it because sometimes you don't want a tag firing every single time the mouse is pressed down. So you got to make sure that you rein this one in when you're ready. In this case, we want just links, and this is really set up. It's kind of operates like this, but it says, well, when the mouse button is pressed, if it's a hyperlink. So if it's a hyperlink, then go ahead and fire, but only a hyperlink, only if they actually something they actually clicked on. So that's what this is here. So it's set up just links, and we're going to actually leave it as all link clicks. Again, with the all elements one, you might say only on some elements, right? But in this case, we're going to say, you know what, Tag Manager, if it's a hyperlink, I want this trigger to fire. So we're going to keep it just like that. We're going to go ahead and click on save, and we are, of course, going to save it. So I'm going to say all clicks on links. Okay, so this is all clicks on links. Actually, you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say this is all link clicks. So we'll do that. So all link clicks. So there we go. So now I've got my trigger, all link clicks. That's all sitting in there. Now let's set up a tag. So now I'm going to go ahead and go into tags, and we're going to set up an analytics tag just for sake of example. But you can do this. We're going to send information to analytics in this case, but we could also be sending it to Facebook. Actually, we can do it at the same time. So some information goes to Facebook, some information goes to maybe Google Ads, others go to Google Analytics. Maybe there's another platform that you're using you can send information to whenever somebody clicks on a link. This is such a useful thing to do. So we're going to do an event real quick here, and I'm just going to do a category. Let's just call it engagement. And then under the action itself, we're going to put in that it was a link click. And then under the label, I'm actually just going to ask it to tell me what the clicks are. So I'm going to go in here. We're going to go to our built-ins, and I'm going to enable our variables. So we're going to say the click URL. I want that enabled. I want, and actually that's going to be it for now. We can always add more later, but for now, just for this example, I'm going to say the click URL, which is the text part that'll be hard-coded, and then it'll actually show the click URL, the actual URL, the value of where they were going to. Okay, so it'll report an event for the engagement, link click, and then that. All right, so now that I have all that set out, we're going to tell it where to go, which is our settings variable here. So that's our tag. And again, this isn't really, this is just for analytics. You can call, set it up however you set it up in your own analytics and for what you're tracking. But also remember, you can set up the tag to be analytics or Facebook or Google Ads. It really doesn't matter. The point of this particular training is really around this trigger, because when you set up this trigger and you say, yes, I want it on all link clicks, now every time somebody clicks on a hyperlink, the tag that is associated fires. And again, that tag could be telling Facebook somebody clicked on a link. Now, again, why would you want to tell Facebook that? Why would you want to tell Google Ads that? Well, if you think about it, maybe I've got two different offers here. There's a monthly offer and a yearly offer. In fact, I think, let me see if I got that on our little demo sales page. I do. So I've got a monthly offer here. I got an annual offer here. And these are all hyperlinks. And maybe I want to say, well, if they click on the monthly hyperlink, then I want you to put them in this particular audience so I can upsell them later. Or here, I want you to go tell Google Ads that they're a conversion now when that link click happens. So there's all sorts of different things that you can do, or when somebody becomes a lead, or just that they have interest in the product. And you can use those behaviors, because if you think about it, that's what Tag Manager is really, really good at, is monitoring for a behavior, and then based on what you've told it to look for, when it sees that behavior, it then takes action. So in this case, we're saying look for the behavior of a link click, and whenever you see a link click, no matter what's hyperlinked, right? Any of these things that I'm hovering over are actual hyperlinks. So no matter what happens, I want you to grab all the information and pass it through this specific information I'm asking for. In this case, the click URL. There we go, click URL. I want you to pass that through along with the fact that it's a link click and that it's an engagement category. In this case, to Google Analytics, right? But again, we could do it with Facebook. We can do it with Facebook and Google at the same time. So kind of the beauty of Tag Manager is you can leverage yourself. Now we're going to go ahead and save this. We're going to use our proper naming conventions. This is a Google Analytics tag. So it's GA. And then we're going to say event, because that's the type of Google Analytics tag that it is. And then what specific type of event. In this case, report link click is what this one is doing. It's a nice generic one. So this is reports a link click. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and save that. And with that in mind, what's the first thing we do once we actually have a new tag or a new trigger or some sort of new implementation? Hopefully you're saying preview, because it's exactly what we should be doing. So we're going to preview it first before we submit it for publishing. We're going to preview it first. We're going to make sure it works the way we want it to work. So I'm flipping over to preview mode. Now I'm going to go ahead and refresh our page here. I'll just actually go back to the home page because that'll make it refresh. There's our preview window. So now I can see our page view tag, which we already had set up. And then here's our new tag, which is set up to report a link click, but it's based on that trigger. So now watch what happens. And I'm on a PC, so I'm holding down Control on my keyboard, and now I'm going to left click on read more. So watch this. So I just did that. Now over here, that's what the Control click does with a PC. It opens up as a new tab. So this is where I actually went to. I went to can you please join our email list, and that fired this tag. So back on the main homepage is where I clicked it. That's what fired this tag. So here, if I click into it, it says, hey, firing status succeeded. Awesome. I'm going to show more. So it showed that it was an engagement hit, showed that it was a link click, showed that it was the click URL, and then it told me the value of the click URL. Now let's go make sure this is Tag Manager saying, hey, I threw the ball, right? Like I tried to deliver the package. Did Google Analytics receive the package? And look at that. It looks like it did because we're in the behavior. Actually, you know what? Let me go into, we're in the real-time report. So I want to make it show you that. So we're real time and then events, and that's what it looks like. So just had an event category of engagement. There's the link click, and then I want to go ahead and click on this. You can see now this category is up here. It's just looking for events with engagement. Last click, and it gives us a little bit more information. This is the value of the label, which in this case, if you hover over it, see, it's exactly what I was looking for, which was the click URL. So that's really, really cool. Now remember, Tag Manager has access at this link click event. That's what you're looking for. So when I clicked on that link, this little gtm.link click came up. In fact, let me show you that one more time. I'm going to go ahead and click on check out this awesome video. So I'm going to close this window out here. So we're back on our home page, right? I'm going to say check out this awesome video. I'm going to control click because I'm on a PC. Watch down here what happens, because right now this is number 5. This is the link click that we did previously. Watch what happens when I click. Ready? Click. Now I'm on number 6. So gtm.link click, that's the event, that Tag Manager, that's how you know that Tag Manager just saw a link click, because it really tells you that. It says, hey, link click, a link click just happened. So at this event, so this link click event, here's all the information that GTM had. It had the click URL available to it. You can actually set up Tag Manager so it starts grabbing the text, right? Check out this awesome video. In fact, I'm going to show you that in a minute because I think it's a really cool thing that Tag Manager does here. And then if we look in the tags, you can see it reported the link click again. And if I go to summary, you'll see it says fired 2 times because it was fired here and it fired here. And if we go into our analytics, you can see there's 2 different link clicks. One that was to the email list. The other one was checking out the awesome video. You can see it went to that page. So now automatically Tag Manager is just grabbing whatever it can and passes through whatever it's supposed to. But I want it to be able to pass through more information because I like my information being measured and stored in Google Analytics. So I'm going to go back and we're going to adjust this tag a little bit here just to kind of show you some stuff we can do with variables. So first is the URL. Then I'm going to do 3 dashes to help give us a little bit of separation here. I'm going to say, I want to know the click text. Okay, so fortunately, Tag Manager has a built-in variable for that. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on our variables. We're going to go to our built-ins and we're going to turn on, you just have to do this once and then it'll show in the list here. But if we turn on click text, just by clicking on it, now I've got click text. So put a little space there, try to keep it nice and clean. So now this will be the actual text that was clicked on. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and save this. And with that saved, I'm just going to refresh my preview. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to pull a new preview. So we're going to just refresh the page. So there's our regular events all popping through. And now let's go to thank you for joining. So watch what happens here. So I click on this. So there's my gtm.click. It reported once. That's thank you for joining. Watch, I'm going to click on this one now. It says read more. So I just clicked on that one, control click. And now I'm going to click again. Actually, this time I'm going to click where it says Mercer right here. So we're going to go ahead and control click on Mercer. So you can see these different tabs opened up every time I did a little click because I'm on a PC doing control clicks. Now I'm going to go over to, in this case, my Tag Manager saying, hey, I've set this thing 3 times, right? One for each of these clicks. I can go to Tag Manager and I can say, well, what was the information you knew at number 5? And it'll tell me, oh, okay, this is what I sent. Let's go to show more here. And it tells me this is the click URL. And look, the click text. Thank you for joining. Number 6, if I do that same thing, say show more, it says, oh, here's the URL, but the click text was read more. And remember number 7, it was Mercer. So we're going to click on there. Lo and behold, guess what it says? Hey, text was Mercer. Right? And it still has the other information in there. So it's still telling me the click that they went to and the text they clicked on. So now I've got even more information. Now let's go to analytics and see if it worked. And it looks like it did. So now I start seeing click text come through here. Right? There's another one with click text. There's another one with click text. So I've got all these additional information coming through. Now again, why store it in Google Analytics? Because you can set goals in Google Analytics. So for example, I'm actually going to go ahead and grab this. Let's just grab a copy here. Oops, we'll go into our preview mode. And I'm going to say whenever they click on this demo, let's just do that. So when it's, what is it? MER demo admin. In fact, I'm just going to click on it now and grab it from here. So whenever they click on a link that goes to this page, that's the click URL we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and go to Analytics. I'm going to set a goal for that. So there's our workshop. We're going to set a little demo goal. And you can remember, you can do this with all the different platforms, right? This is just an example with Google Analytics of some of the magic that once you have these events stored in your platform, you can do something with it. So in Analytics, I could build segments out of this. I could set goals because of this. So clicked on Mercer author bio. Okay, so this would be an event goal because I'm storing the event in Google Analytics. I'm going to click on continue, and I'm going to say whenever the label, in this case, regular expression, and I just want to say when it has this. So we're going to do that. So whenever the label basically has this little fragment, then I want to go ahead and fire the goal. So I'm going to click on save. Now we're going to go and see what happens. Let's test this out, see if our goal sets are working. So first and foremost, there's my events. Now I'm going to look at my, so these are the events that are coming through already, been recorded. Now I'm going to click on to conversions again in real time. Here's all my different goals that I've already set up in this little demo account. This is the new one, number 9, clicked on the Mercer author bio. So now I'm going to do just that. So we're going to come through, I'm going to click, and now number 9 just happened here. That was number 9. And it said, yes, I just sent a link which had text Mercer in it and was the author MER demo admin. And this is where we said, hey, Google Analytics, go look in the label, and whenever it contains author MER demo admin, go ahead and fire. So let's see if it did that. Looks like it did. So we've got, there's number 9, and it shows 1 conversion. So now I've got that event that actually happened. So I've got that event right here that happened, and that event triggered a goal. And remember, in Google Analytics, now you can do a ton of stuff with goals, right? You have goal reports and, being able to segment by goals. You can export that into a Data Studio spreadsheet. So there's lots of things you can do with goals. And remember, it's not just analytics. You can use the exact same mechanism of this link click trigger that we created to automatically say, whenever somebody clicks on a link, do this. Well, the this part is the tag. And in this case, I'm saying just send it to Google Analytics, but I could create another tag and say, I also want you to send to Facebook, and I'm not actually going to do this because we don't have Facebook Pixel on this demo site, but send whatever the event is to Facebook, and those of you who are using Facebook will know how to do that. If not, we have workshops on that, so make sure you check out how to set up Facebook using Tag Manager, and then we'll go to triggers and say, and do it on all link click, and then send whatever the data that you want to Facebook is. And then what will happen is that tag will also fire when the link is clicked, in addition to your Google Analytics, in addition to your AdWords, in addition to your LinkedIn, or whatever else that you want to fire whenever a link is clicked. Now remember, I'm going to go ahead and discard this real quick. If I wanted this to only fire, so if I wanted this tag to only fire on certain link clicks, all I would need to do is say, well, only on some link clicks, maybe when the click text contains Mercer, and only when it contains Mercer, if I could type, here we go. Only when it contains Mercer, then fire. And that's how you can sort of rein in the trigger a little bit. But I like, in the beginning, setting up a tag that automatically reports events, at least to Google Analytics, so that I can segment stuff. Because sometimes it's really hard when you're trying to measure the customer journey and you want to get an idea of the behavior, and you say, okay, well, of the people that were on this page, what different links are they clicking on? Maybe there's like 4 different buy buttons, and you're trying to figure out which buy button did they actually click on. Well, that's great for something like Tag Manager. Just say, hey, Tag Manager, whenever somebody clicks on a link, just record it so that if I have that question later on, I can totally figure it out. Another great example, again, content marketing. This is kind of a fake blog, obviously, but the idea is the same. So if you've got a blog post and they're actually interacting and going forward to like your order forms or your sales offers, you could automatically have that stuff measured so that if you wanted to know, hey, what clicks are actually happening on a specific page, it will tell you. In fact, let's see, sometimes this doesn't work in analytics, but hopefully it does. Let's see if we've given it enough time to get all of our events into a report here. May or may not have had the time to do that, but let's find out. So I'm going to switch over to today's date. And let's see what data has been collected already. Oh, look at that. We already got some data coming through. So this is showing me I'm in the events reports now. So behavior, events, And then under the pages, that's under events, this is telling me all of the pages that currently have events being recorded for them. I click on this page, and then it drills down and says, well, here's the category of events, which is engagement. So these are the engagements that's happening on my home page. So, right? So now I've already engagement. I can say what type of engagement. So I can say, oh, well, in this case, link click. Now, why would I just want to do that? Well, maybe because I have videos and I might have a video engagement of some sort. So I can say engagement, then video or scroll or something like that. Then I can say, okay, well, what exactly was being clicked on? Where were they going? And I click further down. There's all my answers. So here, I already know I'm looking at all of the events, in this case, the link clicks that are happening on measurementmarketing.io/demo, right? The main homepage for the demo site. But then I can drill down pretty quickly and see, oh, these are all the links that they clicked on when they were on that page. Some people went to the author site, clicking on the Mercer. Some people went to the Can Please Join our email list. The other ones clicked on it and they got there from Read More, clicking on the Read More. There's a checking out the awesome video, and then somebody else did thank you for joining by clicking on the text that said thank you for joining on the headline ad. So you can tell from this report very quickly what your users are doing on a specific page. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's so powerful to be able to do this. And Tag Manager makes it really, really easy. It's only been 20 minutes since you and I have been talking about this. And we've set this up and played around with a bunch of stuff. And if you know what you're doing and you have your a little bit of practice under your belt, you can come into this and you can have this whole thing running up and running completely in just minutes. It really is very, very quick. So if you have not yet played with this, this is what you want to set up next. And honestly, this is kind of how most of our implementations go. We start with a page view tag, then we come in and we automatically put in event tracking so we can see what links are actually being reported, so that we can start to segment out behaviors and fire different pixels to different platforms and all of that based on those behaviors, and setting goals based on those behaviors, right? So there's amazing things that you can do with this. The sky is the limit. Now it's just time for you to go forth and practice. All right, so that brings us to a close on this workshop. What was your one thing? Hopefully you got at least one. Maybe it was the idea of the trigger. Maybe it was the idea that there is a difference. There is a huge difference between all elements as a trigger and the link clicks. And you want the link clicks. The all elements one you got to be careful of. But the link click one, no problem. That's only going to fire whenever there's an actual hyperlink according to Tag Manager. And if you want to actually dig deeper into this and you're ready to really level up your measurement marketing skills and you want a better way to know your numbers, consider joining the Measurement Marketing Academy. It is our flagship product. Measure.tips/start will get you there, get you some more information on it. It is a phenomenal program, and its main claim to fame is support. So we've got teams of measurement marketing instructors that are back there. You can ask questions about your site. You can jump on live calls with them. You see workshops every week like this. You have a library of workshops that help you answer just about any question you have when it comes to analytics or Data Studio or Facebook Analytics, or even Google Tag Manager, especially Google Tag Manager. So tons of stuff back there. We're always doing new and interesting things focused around marketing, but not just marketing for marketing's sake, but actually measuring our marketing and making decisions based on those measurements to improve our results. And that's what measurement marketing is really, really about. So yes, you get to learn all those tools, but that's just a mere benefit. You also have all of the support, all of the talking with an instructor, really making sure that if you want somebody to take a look at your goals and see if you're tracking the right things, if you need some help reading a report to try to figure out what insights you should be pulling, that's what the Academy is there for. So while it's not for everybody, it is for you if you are ready to really dive deeply and start measuring your marketing to get better results. If you are a member, speaking of Academy members, those of you who already are, just a key point, today, actually Wednesday, so Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern, every Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern, we have the Academy Office Hours Q&A. So that's actually happening today. That's kind of when we're recording this right now. So office hours open Q&A. Check your email. So there's a link that's already been sent out to you for the email because the links change each week. So we'll all jump on a Zoom call and chat everything out, measurement marketing. So they're in email, they're in Facebook group, and they're, of course, in the Academy. So if you go into the Workshop Wednesday section of the Academy, if you're an Academy member, you will see your link there to join that live Q&A call. That way you can get direct help from a measurement marketing instructor, which in this case will actually be me because I will be there. All right, next week, Workshop Wednesday, we're going to be talking a Beyond the Basics topic. So Beyond the Basics is for those of you who have a little experience, but maybe you've got the basics down and you've got stuff reporting into Google Analytics, and we want to do a little bit like level up. Let's level up your skills. So we're going to be talking about using advanced segments in Google Analytics. So Make sure you check that out. And if you want more information about Workshop Wednesday, measure.tip/WW. It is free. So this one is free. The Academy's paid. It's kind of our premium paid product. But Workshop Wednesday is free. So if you go to measure.tip/WW, you can learn more about joining that program and getting on all of those notifications so that you can get access to the members area as well. All right. That is it. We'll go ahead and wrap it up for now. This has been Getting Started, automatically tracking link clicks. Thanks again for watching this workshop, and we'll see you on another one soon.